Okay, let's dive right into the second chapter of Hebrews today.
Sounds good.
It kicks off with this really direct instruction for you, the listener.
Hmm.
Pay very careful attention to what you've heard.
Yeah, no easing into it. It signals right away that this is crucial stuff.
Exactly. Not just interesting, but vital. And the theme really seems to be about understanding the huge significance of this salvation message we've received.
Right, how it stacks up against, well, previous messages and
Right.
what it tells us about Jesus himself.
The text immediately warns that if you don't pay close attention, the risk is drifting away.
Drifting, like a boat that's come loose, just sort of aimlessly floating off. It's a powerful image.
And the potential consequence isn't small, is it? It makes this contrast. If the message that came through angels was legally binding,
Yeah, and every violation received a just penalty back then.
then how much more serious is it if we ignore this salvation? It calls it a great salvation. The stakes feel incredibly high.
Well, I think that points to the source, doesn't it? This wasn't delivered by angels.
No, the text says it was first announced by the Lord himself, by Jesus.
And then confirmed by eyewitnesses, those who actually heard him. That's a direct line.
Plus, God himself backed it up. The sources mention God testifying with signs, wonders, various miracles.
And gifts of the Holy Spirit, distributed according to his own will. It's like a divine stamp of approval.
So when you think about that weight, that level of confirmation behind this message,
Yeah.
how does that maybe change how you approach engaging with it?
It definitely gives you pause. And then it shifts slightly, talking about the future.
Right, this idea of the world to come. And it makes the point that this future world is not going to be under the authority of angels.
Which might be surprising, maybe. We often think of angels as, pretty high up.
Definitely. And it pulls in that quote, likely from the Psalms, asking about humanity. What is man that you are mindful of him?
Acknowledging that humanity was made, for a time, a little lower than the angels.
Crowned with glory and honor, apparently, with everything intended to be under human feet. Though it quickly adds that we don't see everything subject to us. Well, not yet anyway.
There's that tension, the promise versus the current reality.
But then the focus zooms right in on Jesus. It says, he was made lower than the angels for a little while.
Okay, so why? Why would the one who's meant to have dominion take that lower position?
Well, the text connects it directly to his suffering and death. It says he's now crowned with glory and honor because he suffered death.
Ah, so the suffering wasn't a detour, it was the path to the crowning.
Exactly, and the purpose given. So that by God's grace, he might taste death for everyone. It wasn't just about him, it was substitutionary.
Wow. So considering that path Jesus took made lower suffering, death, than glory, how might that reshape how you view the purpose behind challenges you face?
That's a deep question, and it leads right into the next part, doesn't it? About it being fitting.
Yeah, fitting for God and bringing many children to glory, to make the pioneer the author of their salvation, perfect or complete through suffering.
His suffering sort of paved the way. And look how closely he identifies with us. He calls believers brothers.
And he's not ashamed to do so. It emphasizes that shared origin, that shared humanity, flesh and blood.
So what was the point of sharing our humanity and ultimately dying?
The text gives a powerful reason. By dying, he could destroy the one who holds the power of death, that's the devil, and free those who were held in slavery their whole lives by their fear of death. That's huge liberation.
A freedom from death's power and the dread it causes. And it clarifies who he came to help, right?
Yes, explicitly says he helps the descendants of Abraham, not angels. His mission was targeted toward humanity.
Which meant he had to be made like his brothers and sisters in every way. Why was that similarity so crucial?
So that he could become a merciful and faithful high priest, that go-between representing us to God.
Able to make atonement, to deal with sins, because he understood our situation from the inside.
Precisely. It required that shared experience. And that leads to the final, really encouraging point here, that because he himself suffered when he was tempted, he's able to help those who are currently being tempted. He gets it.
He's not distant. He experienced temptation. So the thought to leave you with, drawn right from the text, knowing Jesus was tempted like you are and is therefore able to help. What does that specific reality mean for your daily struggles and temptation? Something to really chew on.